Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew Sharp. I'm a digital planner here at Delaware Online. And one of the digital plans we have in the works is a story about this year of the pandemic that we've all lived through. And I know everyone is sick of coronavirus stories, but this one is a little bit different. So I have reporter Meredith Newman here this morning, and she's going to tell us a little bit about this. So Meredith, what's this project and what are we looking for?
Sure. Good morning, Andrew. It's good to see you. So I was talking with my colleagues, Brandon Holbeck, who many of you probably recognize his byline from all the great coronavirus stories, as well as Jared Whalen, who is the mastermind behind basically everything visually beautiful at the News Journal. The coronavirus tracker is his baby. And we were just trying to figure out a way to reflect back on the past year that is both different for projects that the News Journal has done, but also a way to just gather a wide variety of experiences because, obviously this pandemic has hit a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And we thought about this idea of basically writing a letter to yourself. So we're kind of calling this the COVID Letters Project. And our hope is to get a wide variety of letters from Delawareans across the state, a spectrum of age, race, gender, background, occupation, and just learn what people would tell themselves, reflecting back on how this year has changed them for better or for worse, how their perspectives have changed, how their goals have shifted, highlights, low moments, and how they moved forward as a way to really memorialize the hardship of this year, but I think also how we can move forward. So this isn't like a writing assignment from your English teacher in high school. We want this to be fun and interesting. And so we will have a link below that provides more information about how people can submit. But there's a couple different ways that you can submit this. It can be 50 words. It can be 500 words. You could do a haiku, whatever you want, just to reflect and talk about your experience. It can be one specific day that was a really hard day during the pandemic and how you moved forward. It can be recapping this past year to your former self and what you learned. So there's 3 different ways that you can submit a letter. Again, there will be more information in the links below. One is you can email us a letter at covidletters@delawareonline.com. That's COVID, COVID, letters at delawareonline.com. You can also fill out the Google form that will be in the story linked below. And that will ask for some more specific information. It will also ask for contact info. We will not be publishing that information. It's just an opportunity for me or for Brandon or for Jared to follow up with folks, maybe get some clarifying more details, just to connect with people and tell them a little bit more about behind the scenes of the project. And then you can also mail a letter, traditional snail mail. Would love a handwritten letter from folks if they're willing. Again, that will be addressed to the News Journal. That information is also in the article. So basically, we want a way to capture the different experiences. Just to cite off a couple examples of the kinds of letters we've received so far. We had a really quick statement from a gentleman who talked about his appreciation for Charmin, the toilet paper company. Great. We had a very adorable letter from a 7-year-old reflecting on this past year, what it meant to him, how he had to have his birthday more isolated than usual, kind of what school has been like for him. Also fantastic. So we're looking for a wide variety of experiences and are just really hoping people will share theirs with us, but also, again, for us to kind of memorialize this historic year that has, I think had a lot of lows, obviously, but also I think it changed people in ways that they maybe weren't expecting, and kind of the sense of resiliency that a lot of folks had to muster in the last year.
Yeah, and we've been doing a lot of reporting. Obviously, you have been doing a lot of reporting on this, and so we've run across stories from people, but this project really is trying for even more input from people about stuff they've heard or stuff they've gone through. And
I think it's a way for folks to tell their own story, and think about kind of the defining moments that have affected them. So yeah, again, this is not like your English teacher writing assignment. This is
apologies to the English teachers out there. We also
for the English teachers. We want this to be more engaging, but also for us to, capture experiences that maybe we haven't written about before, to highlight folks that maybe have gotten underreported, underserved, and to really get kind of every nook and cranny of the state. So again, just to recap, we are looking for people to write letters to themselves about what this past year has been like. Of course, mid-March is the 1-year marker of when the first case was confirmed here in Delaware. And obviously our worlds have been turned upside down in so many ways. And so we're looking for people to write letters, anything from 50 to 500. If you want to write a novel, like, go for it. Probably can't publish all of it, but like, I support you. And really talking about how this year has changed them. It can be one moment that they want to write about. It can be recapping the entire year. But our hope is that we can find personal, vulnerable stories that are also stories of resilience and strength, and encapsulating what this year has been like. Because of course, we've done a lot of different coverage. We've written a lot of different stories, but we're kind of turning it around on our readers and asking them to help write their own story.
Yeah, well, this is exciting because, that's one of the things that has struck me as I see this year of reading about it and in a lot of different publications, is just the human impact of this. You can focus on a lot of different angles of COVID, but the human impact has been, the biggest. Just the way that it has made people's lives so much harder in a lot of different ways. And so this will be exciting to see what we can, some of the stories we can tell from this.
Yeah, and just, to speak about my own personal experience, maybe something we haven't written that much about is what it is like for single people in Delaware who live by themselves. And, I am not seeing my friends in person. And so there's obviously a loneliness that comes across. I think in some ways it has been really impactful in terms of like personal growth and development and like developing hobbies. I'm currently on like the like crafting aspect of my quarantine, but also it's been incredibly lonely. So I think we're kind of looking for personal stories like that. Just slivers of different people's experiences to kind of put together a bigger picture of how the toll it's taken on Delaware.
All right. Well, thanks, Meredith, for coming on and explaining this for us. I hope everybody watching this kind of thinks about some things they can send in. And as Meredith said, we're going to have the links in the chat for this. And as always, be sure to subscribe to Delaware Online so you can support the work we're doing and make sure you get all our content. Right now, we're having a huge sale. So check out our website for more info on that. All right. Thanks, Meredith.
Thank you.